What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're back again for a Smackdown live review. Smackdown for September 11, 2018. If everyone does know that September 11, 2001, 17 years ago, was a big dark day in not just United States history, but the world completely. They did have a nice little 11 bell salute for remembrance of what happened 17 years ago. I was actually at home sick that day. 17 years ago. I was an 11-year-old little kid, strep throat, not fun. Wake up to what appeared to be a terrorist attack. All I'm going to say about this is until the truth fully comes out, we as Americans will not be able to completely heal from something like this. I'm not going to go into that. This is not this type of channel. But until the truth of what really happened that day actually comes out, there's nothing. It's just going to be the same political stuff that we see every single year. What the fuck was that main event? That's what I want to know. What the fuck was that main event? I'm sitting here watching Smackdown Live, watching Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. I'm like, okay, this is not a bad match. The ending of the match was what you figure was going to happen with Randy Orton. And then when that stuff was all done and over with, they're like, we have a double header. We have the Bar versus Day, and then in the main event of SmackDown Live, we have Myrse versus Brie Bella. Are you fucking kidding me? Last week on Monday Night Raw, what the hell did we have? We had Brie Bella and Nikki Bella versus the Riot Squad. Miss Botch Bella, Brie Bella, watching everything from left and right, and then you put her in the main event of SmackDown Live? Are you fucking kidding me? That should have opened the goddamn show, but no, we're gonna end it. And no, it's not going to end conclusively because you know the Miz and Daniel Bryan are going to brawl. You know the Miz and Daniel Bryan are going to get involved. And it's just going to be one of those things that nobody, I repeat, nobody is going to care about. Are you kidding me, though? Why the fuck are you, who the hell in the back? I don't give a shit about this whole, oh, it's revolutionary for the women. Main event SmackDown Live. You did that with the Money in the Bank briefcase last year, did you not? You've had other women in the main event. Why in the fuck do you have Myrse and Brie Bella in the main event in one-on-one action on a go-home show to a pay-per-view? By the way, down dominant compared to Raw. So far on the pay-per-view, there were 3 Raw matches. There were 8 matches overall, 5 for SmackDown and 3 for Monday Night Raw. You don't believe me? Go look at their Wikipedia page and go look at every single match. Go wherever you can find. There is the Universal title match, the women's title match, and the tag team title match for Raw. That's it. Everything else is SmackDown. Everything else. But again, why in the fuck do you have Botch Bella and Myrse, who hasn't wrestled a singles match and has only had one fucking match in 7 years? He had that shit match last year at WrestleMania between The Miz and John Cena and Nikki Bella and herself. But yet you expect me to want to sit here and watch on the final match of the show before we go to Hell in a Cell. You want me to watch Brie Bella versus Myrse in the main event. No fucking wonder the crowd was dead tonight, because as soon as they saw that, the air went out of the building. As soon as that came on the Titantron, that it was Myrse versus Brie Bella in the main event, the air just died. Nobody gave a fuck. That's what you're going to give me as the main event? Are you fucking kidding me? What a bunch of bullshit. You had the tag team championship. You had the tag team #1 contenders match that should have been the main event. You had Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, which I would have, not AJ Styles, but Jeff Hardy. I would have taken that over Brie Bella versus Myrse. Give me a fucking break. Are you kidding me with this shit? The only positives coming out of Monday Night Raw tonight was, not Monday Night Raw, but SmackDown Live last night, is the Bar versus that day, and the fact that we had, I don't know, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe cutting promos on each other. Of course, AJ Styles got outclassed with the bedtime story that Samoa Joe read about AJ and his family. But other than that, SmackDown Live, we had another attack from Becky Lynch, which was creative. They did put out unseen footage of, because what happened after Charlotte Flair's match is that she, for whatever reason, when she first came down. She came down and had a selfie with a couple fans, and Becky Lynch attacked her from behind. Definitely creative because Becky Lynch was disguised as a fan. Definitely something pretty cool. I mean, that was pretty nice. But with all the attacks and all the upper handness, it just feels like Becky Lynch is not going to walk out women's champion yet. The fact that she has been the dominant of the two, Charlotte has had no offense on Becky Lynch since SummerSlam, makes me believe and makes me wonder, is Becky Lynch going to win at Hell in a Cell? My answer is probably no. Not after 3-4 weeks of just Charlotte getting her ass handed to her by Becky Lynch. The show actually started off after the opening segment with the remember the WWE members that lost on September 11, 2001. It really just started off with, of course, a match. We didn't have like a 20-minute segment promo. I mean, yes, Jeff Hardy did cut a promo before the match talking about the demons had to deal with. We all deal with demons, and yes, we do. They all come. Demons do come in different forms. Usually, when people say somebody's dealing with demons, it's like drugs, alcohol, stuff like that. Depression's a demon, stuff like that. Hopefully, they have the promo, which they don't. Of course not. Of course, they don't. I wrote down most of it, unless it's at the end of this. But yeah, definitely something that Jeff Hardy is right about is that, yes, we all have demons. Of course, Jeff Hardy himself has been through a lot in his career. He has had to go through multiple in his life. I mean, the multiple drug violations, the fact that the incident with Impact Wrestling a couple years ago when he when he was the world champ. Well, he was going against Sting for the world championship, and he was drugged up out of his mind, and they had to pretty much make the match shorter than the match he had with Shinsuke Nakamura at Extreme Rules. Jeff said, "Demons are all around, tempting us, taunting us, tearing us apart at times. I've had some, I've overcome them all, and stand before you a better man." Yes, he has. I mean, his last set of demons that hit him was a couple months ago, actually, when he got pulled over for drunk driving. That was another set of demons after him. Demons will always be around you, and you must face them. My worst will be taken care of this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton may think you may inflict pain on me. He has no idea what it's like to face someone like me, and I will defang the Viper at Hell in a Cell. He may have forgot he is a demon, but I am a daredevil. I have no fear. I prepare my entire life for this Sunday. I will unleash a lifetime of pain, misery, and agony on Orton until he fades away and classifies himself as obsolete. Tonight, though, I cleanse Nakamura, and after that, I'm going straight to hell. Enjoy the show, he said. This was a pretty decent opening match. Definitely was worth. It was great to see Nakamura back in the ring. I know Nakamura has said that he doesn't want to wrestle because he really has no competition. Well, apparently, this match was pretty good. Jeff Hardy wins this by DQ as he's going for the Swanton when Randy Orton shoves him from the top rope to the to crotch him on the top rope, sending him to the outside. Jeff Hardy wins by DQ. Post-match, Orton just keeps slamming him and slamming him and slamming him into the steel steps. Orton then grabs a chair and attacks Hardy with the chair. Orton starts calling for the RKO, and he actually looks like he's going to hit the RKO, but Hardy blocks that. Hardy goes for the twist of fate, and Orton blocks that. Hardy does eventually end up with the chair in his hand, and he attacks Orton with the chair, and he hits a twist of fate, hits the Swanton Bomb on Orton as that ends that segment, which was a pretty decent segment. Do I see Jeff Hardy winning the Hell in a Cell? No, I do not. This is his first time in a Hell in a Cell. This would be, I believe, Randy Orton's fourth or fifth time that he has ended up inside Hell in a Cell. So, definitely going to see Randy Orton, the veteran of Hell in a Cell, be that much better than Jeff Hardy on this night at Hell in a Cell, and we will talk about that later in this week a lot more in detail and everything else, doing preview and predictions. But Jeff Hardy did get himself a little bit more revenge on Jeff Hardy on Randy Orton after he got some himself. Then we go to the back from Miz and Maurice for an awful promo. Miz, we all know, can talk on the mic. It is not just because just because Maurice married the Miz does not mean that she gets his talent on the mic transferred to her. Because my word, was her promo awful. She is just an awful promo. I would never ever want to hear Maurice talk again on the mic. Period. Then we go to Charlotte. Oh, I'm sorry. We go to earlier in the night where we have AJ Styles in the arena empty talking about Samoa Joe, and he gets candid about his match for this Sunday.
Samoa Joe knows my biggest weakness is my temper. And he knows the quickest way to get me to lose my temper is to talk about my family. He brought my wife into this. He even brought my 3-year-old daughter, Annie, into this. He figures if he can attack my heart, then he can mess with my head, and then he has the advantage. Maybe he's right. But after nearly 20 years of friendship, I know a lot about Samoa Joe. You see, believe it or not, Samoa Joe has a family. Now, the difference is between the two of us is I would never mess with another man's family because I have integrity, and I consider that a strength. Samoa Joe's strength is running his mouth. Samoa Joe's strength is intimidation. Samoa Joe's strength is also being a real piece of...
He had to block himself from saying shit.
Real piece of garbage. But all of that strength that he has will be his weakness. You see, when this bell rings, no one has the upper hand on AJ Styles. At Hell in a Cell, the talking stops. The intimidation ends. And Joe got a reminder, a dose of what happens when you talk about my family at SummerSlam. And last week, I gave him another taste. And in 5 days, I'm going to show Samoa Joe how phenomenal I really am. Because this is the house that AJ Styles built. And it's not for rent. And it damn sure isn't for sale.
Unless, and I've said this before, unless they somehow, somewhere, which they didn't tonight, and I still don't understand, unless they put a stipulation on this match, I don't see Samoa Joe winning this match. I just don't. I don't see him winning the title. He might win the match by some fuck finish, but I don't see him winning the title. It's just not going to happen. Then we had Charlotte Flair in the back being like with a little cockiness to her promo, saying she's hoping her best friend watches for her next match. There's a little woo. And then it's Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville. Charlotte Flair wins this by a figure 8. It's the post match that you want to talk about, where Charlotte is going up the ring. You know, she's clapping hands with fans and everything. And she comes down again for some reason, and so it's having a selfie with a fan, with a couple fans. When all of a sudden, from behind, someone grabs her by the neck and just yanks her backwards. And it looks like just a fan with black hair and, you know, hoodie and everything, when it turns out to actually be Becky Lynch, who then takes the disguise off, goes over and boots her in the face a couple times, and then puts her in to disarm her. Definitely not a heel, because the full time, and they're trying oh so hard to get Becky Lynch to be a heel, but all you hear is Becky, Becky, Becky from the fans. So definitely something that WWE miscalculated for on and misfired was Becky Lynch as a heel. So again, with the fact that she's had the upper hand the entire time since SummerSlam on Charlotte, may I ask to anybody, do you really think Charlotte Flair is losing the championship already. No, I don't think so. I think because with something we're going to be talking about this Saturday on Unscripted with the rumored leak of the schedule for Evolution, I don't see Charlotte Flair losing the title until we get to Evolution. And then we had ourselves a nice little bedtime story from Samoa Joe, and this is great. This promo right here tells me that Samoa Joe should become champion before the end of the year, but I don't know what they're going to do.
Gather round, everyone. Quiet down. I'm going to read you a bedtime story. Tonight, I have just a tale to send you off to dreamland. It has a hero and a villain. Don't worry. This one has a happy ending. It's called Night Night AJ by Samoa Joe. There once was a man who lived in a house that he built for his kids and his spouse. He defended his house against one, against all. He started to believe he was 10 feet tall.
Smackdown Live is the house that AJ Styles built.
His head in the clouds, so high above all, he'd forgotten his family. Not even a call. Until from the west, a man had appeared. A submission machine, all warriors Revierw.
What the hell is happening? It was an ambush. Samoa Joe trying to put the WWE champion to sleep. Styles is out cold.
In the midst of his journey, he heard haunting cries. He learned of the house of broken promises and lies. The child, she was frightened. The wife was distraught. They hoped and they prayed a humbling lesson would be taught. The situation was horrible, terribly bad. The warrior had a solution. Become their new daddy. Hey, Wendy, I made you a promise. Daddy was coming home. It looks like he's not, but I'll be your new daddy. The arrogant fool from the house he'd expel with battle lines drawn at Hell in a Cell. To emerge victorious, it would not take much. A snatch and a grab and a coquina clutch. The lights they were dimming, his ego no more. The arrogant fool asleep on the floor. A new champion stood as man of the house, and the 10-foot-tall man was now small as a mouse. The hero had conquered and saved the day. Good night, Wendy. And little Annie. Night, night, AJ.
He shows a final picture in the book, and it's Wendy with a arm photoshopped over him, over his shoulder, like Wendy put her shoulder over Samoa Joe while he has the WWE Championship. Yeah, I'll probably get copyright claim for that, but I honestly don't care. That had to be said. It's really, really hard for anybody who is a fan of the WWE or wrestling in general not to put the title on Samoa Joe. He has had the best promo work on SmackDown. He has had the best work of all on SmackDown, if not the WWE outside of NXT. This guy has screened the quintessential guy to take the title off of AJ Styles. The only problem with taking the title off of AJ Styles is the fact that who's he going to wrestle against after he's done with the program with AJ Styles? That's the problem with Samoa Joe being a heel, and the fact that there's only Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy's not factoring into the WWE Championship picture whatsoever. So why would you have Samoa Joe? And that's the thing that sucks, because if the Miz, if like AJ Styles has the Miz, he has Randy Orton, which I would love to see Randy Orton versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship before we get to the Miz versus AJ Styles, which is where the Miz should win the WWE Championship, so we can get the Daniel Bryan versus AJ versus the Miz at WrestleMania. That is not going to happen. But it's really hard to sit there and be like, no, we can't give him the title because of X, Y, and Z. So we move on from there to the tag team championship #1 contenders match. Rusev Day versus the Bar. Rusev Day will move on to face the New Day for the tag team titles at Hell in a Cell. The ending of this was great. I still think that they're going to have the new Rusev Day end up breaking up because Aiden English is going to cost them the match at Hell in a Cell. I figured they would do it here, but they didn't. Rusev is down. Looks like he's going to get hit with the bro kick. When Aiden pushes him out of the way, eats the bro kick. That gives Rusev enough time to get up and hit the Machka kick. 1, 2, 3. And Rusev Day versus the New Day at Hell in a Cell. We all know who's heel in that match. We really do. We all know they're going to have try and make Rusev Day a heel team in that match, and it's just not going to work. Andrade Cien Almas took on R-Truth, and I guess until the Mixed Match Challenge is over, which does start next week, for anybody who wants to know, which I don't care, they're going to have R-Truth be accompanied to the ring by Carmella for the next month or two, or whatever, however long this show takes. If it's 12 weeks, if it's 10 weeks, whatever it is, you're going to see R-Truth versus Carmella as a team on Smackdown. I mean, you're not going to have Miz with Oscar every week, so why are you having R-Truth and Carmella every week? Are we having Carmella be a babyface now? I really don't know. They had a promo back with Naomi and Oscar. I really don't care. Oscar has pretty much become irrelevant. And then we move on to the main event. As I said before, what the fuck? Like, what the literal fuck? It all pretty much broke down. And had, like, Miz, I guess, he put his hands on Daniel Bryan's wife, Brie, and Daniel Bryan and Miz start brawling. They end up back in the ring. Brie's outside of the ring. Miz and Daniel Bryan are brawling. Miz is getting his ass kicked on the ropes. He ends up chucking Daniel Bryan over the middle rope. He falls onto Brie Bella, and this stupid shit consumes. The show pretty much ends after the Miz is pretty much getting beat, gets punched in the face, and gets knocked out of the ring, sending them running away while Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella end up celebrating in the middle of the ring. Why the fuck did you waste our time with a Brie and Maurice match? If you could have just had these four cut a promo in the ring and just have all four of them brawl. That's all you really had to do. This was a fucking joke to the end of a show. And this was the go-home show for SmackDown Live. So, yeah. That is SmackDown. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, what the fuck they were thinking. These Joe and AJ promos were good. I mean, AJ's was great, Joe's was good. Joe's was great, AJ's was good. The continuation of the intriguing Charlotte versus Becky stuff, which I think is going to end in a fuck finish. The sad part is, I think both the singles title matches are going to end in screw job finishes or screwy finishes, and the champions are not going to lose their titles. The tag team title matches are a little intriguing because are you going to give the titles to Rusev Day, or are you going to have Aiden English louse everything up and that be the final straw, and you have Rusev Day broken up because Aiden English screwed up again? There are so many questions going into this week. We will talk about it later this week with how things are right now. NXT, of course, is tonight. For everything else, I'll be watching that tomorrow morning, and I'll be doing a nice little review that morning. And then, of course, I will be doing the main classic on Friday, which Saturday. This week, Saturday, is going to be the preview and predictions for Hell in a Cell. And Sunday morning, for the first time in probably a while, Sunday morning is going to be unscripted. And then, of course, we're going to see if we can get everything sorted together. So Sunday night, I could be doing Hell in a Cell. If not, it will have to definitely be Sunday or Monday morning. We'll watch Hell in a Cell, and I will have a nice scathing review on how boring this shit is because WWE just can't get out of their own damn way. But that is going to be a Smackdown Live review for September 11th, 2018. I'll be back again for NXT. Cannot wait to see what happens this week, even though next week is going to be the show that everyone's talking about for NXT. This week, I think it's going to be one of those down weeks because everyone's going to be anticipating Pete Dunne versus Ricochet, title versus title, champion versus champion match. Until then, my name is Franz. I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for NXT.